Good morning, YouTubers. Coffee, cigarette, 7:17 a.m., Wednesday, October 18th. I woke up again. Last night, I was upset and depressed. I suffer major depression. Just most people. If not most, I would say most people. I don't even know what that means anymore. What I mean is anyone who might actually know me knows that I suffer from depression, major depression. It's a very horrible disease. Depression is not rational, and for a person who holds reasonability and logic so high as I do, suffering from the disease of depression, which makes me irrational, is probably one of the worst diseases that I could have gotten. However, like I said about other situations that make me cry, I guess this is the one that I had to get because it's the one that I can deal with, even though I hate dealing with it. So let's move on. We're doing the number 6 spot in the Grudge series. Number 6. What is ticking me off in the number 6 spot? Well, it has to do with 2 words: equality and freedom. Now, this is going to be a strange vlog in the Grudge series because those 2 words, equality and freedom, are wrapped up in some kind of patriotic notion that I have, having been raised in America, by America, and gone through 16 years of public education from kindergarten all the way to my bachelor's degree. Now, that education had a lot of repetition, and one of the most repetitive subjects, besides math and English, was history. Yes, I did learn about the rest of the world, but not as much as the American history books were, repeatedly taught. And besides my bitterness about various displays of disrespect to my patriotism and to the American flag, which represents a lot of things to a lot of people. It's very ambiguous these days, which I find insulting. Because to me, some people say it represents freedom, it represents America, it represents stars and stripes and the Star Spangled Banner, it represents the 4th of July and independence, it represents blah, 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 blah. I mean, they could do 100 things that the flag represents. But there were songs that were written that were, plugged into my brain cells about how it had represented freedom. Freedom, freedom. So that for some reason, between the subliminal messages of the hooky songs that got into my head saying that the flag represented freedom, and then having some other perspectives thrown at me about how it really represented the price that you have to pay for committing a crime, the stars and stripes, they see them as jail bars. It's interesting. Anyway, I'm aware of different perspectives about the flag, but this isn't about the flag. It's about equality and freedom and why I have a grudge about those 2 words. I don't have a grudge at the word equality. I don't have a grudge at the word freedom. I have a grudge about the ambiguity of those 2 words. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Those 2 words will remain ambiguous because there are too many perspectives and nobody's wrong. And this is why I have a grudge. It's not a black and white thing, but that's not the reason I have a grudge. I have a grudge because even when you achieve equality and freedom, even when you achieve your notion of it or even somebody else's perspective about what they mean. When you achieve it, there's still no peace in it. There's still no peace in equality and freedom. And that I find to be the most heinous and disturbing factor about those two words. Why can't equality and freedom come with peace? It disturbs me. It disturbs my happiness. It disturbs my joy. It disturbs my contentment. Each day, knowing that for the past 52 years, I worked for or at some point attained a notion of equality and freedom, only to find that my peace was disturbed by varying perspectives, varying definitions, and arguing and opposing forces. And I have a grudge because I did place equality and freedom on a pedestal. I did place them as high idealistic notions. I fought very hard to achieve those notions. And just when I feel that I have accomplished them, my peace is disturbed. And that is my grudge about equality and freedom. Let me just make a further note about equality. As a woman, women and men are different but equal. Races, Chinese, Spanish, black, white, whatever race, aliens, whatever race you come up with, same thing as women and men. Different but equal. See, when the forefathers wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and whether they were smoking weed and trying to figure out what was going to be a timeless piece of literature that could sustain true heart and true patriotism, whether they were stoned or not is not the point. The point is that the he, she, and the pronoun of whether to place an S there, or what's between your legs, sausage or tuna, are you a man, are you a woman, are you a transvestite? They, in Old English, and if you had studied in your English class with a good English teacher, she would have taught you, or he would have taught you, that in Old English, there was no need to say she. It was just properly spoken and written as he, regardless. There was no need to change the pronoun. It was assumed and appreciated that we didn't have to go through that hassle. He stood for everyone. And then, because American language has its own flavor and style and flair, we got into this big pronoun and what's between your legs debate, and it gets on my nerves because that also interferes with the peace of equality and freedom. Now, men and women are different but equal. Men have a sausage. Women have a tuna fish. That's different. Now, the women who want a power trip are going to say, well, tuna fish is more powerful than sausage. Yeah, until they want that sausage, right? And the men who are, with their egos and their pride and, oh, well, the sausage is better than the tuna fish. Yeah, until they want that tuna fish, right? Yes, I have a grudge about the words equality and freedom. There are many, many reasons why those two words and the ambiguity about those two words disturb my peace.